Duration of our summer semester, as Dr. Greeks indicated, is 4 weeks from June 28th to July 24th. On June 28th, we'll have our standard parent-student orientation, and that will be another online virtual experience. On Monday, the 29th of June, our classes begin. And as Dr. Griggs indicated, there'll be 4 weeks of classes. Our classes will meet every day, Monday through Friday, for 4 weeks. There are 2 classes that students will take. One is called Research and Info Skills. It's a 1-credit class. And the other is Strategies of Academic Success, which also is a 1-credit class. So we're looking at 4 weeks, 5 days a week. That's 20 days of class. And each day students will take 2 classes. So that ends up with being 40 classes, 40 class sessions for the online portion of our summer semester. The Research and Info Skills is a class, that 1-credit class, and we're fortunate to have one of the instructors with us, Mr. Ramadeh. Amelia, could you speak to that class a bit?
Sure. So basically, the class, as the name says, suggests, it's more what we do is we do more research. We find sources which could be used for your English writing or for any type of writing. We look at the library website. We look at the credibility of the sources. There are 2 major projects in this course. One is the e-portfolio, which is like website creation. We use Wix. In past, we have used Wix.com as our platform to create the website. So each student will have each individual website that they can showcase their work, not just from the summer, but from the fall as well as from the spring. And basically they can use the website as their electronic portfolio for employment purposes as well. The other project is, we called it as a capstone project, which is, I don't know if all the high schools do it, but if you have done in the past, it's like a bibliography, annotated bibliography. So what we will be doing with that project is we will be choosing 4 to 5 sources, 4 to 5, either they could be a book, they could be an article, they could be a journal article, and we will look for their credibility, we will look for their relevance, the accuracy, the authority, the purpose of the source, whether is it a current source, and so far, and then we will note down all the information and we will make a quick bibliography of it. So the whole course is developed so that the students get acclimated on how to research for the sources, how to use their sources correctly and credibly. Because most of the time students just go through the Google, find the first source and just use it, but that's not how normally it's done when you are writing a research paper or a thesis paper. So we get you familiar with how to do the research for the sources.
The Strategies for Academic Success is essentially a college-level study skills class. We find that most of our high school students who come to Duquesne, and particularly those who come through the Gussin Spiritian division, may not have had any instruction in high school on the art and science of study, how to study effectively. So perhaps the most important class in our summer program, at least in my opinion, is the Strategies for Academic Success class, this college study skills class. And here, such topics as academic motivation, time management, test prep and test taking, concentration. We use a technique called the SQ4R, which is a very effective reading, study, test prep strategy all rolled into one. And the end goal of this class is to provide students with the reading skills, the writing skills, the learning skills that will enable them to be successful students, not only in the Gussin Spiritian division, but just as important when they transfer out of the division to their schools of major.
Okay, good morning again. So we have a curriculum committee and we are in the planning stages of putting together the one-week orientation, as Dr. Hotep mentioned. We'll begin on Sunday, August 9th and run through the 16th. During that first week, there's going to be a lot of activities planned for you guys to acclimate you to the university. Typically, we do this over the 5-week, but we're going to kind of do an accelerated introduction to Duquesne University and the Spiritan Division. That first week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, you guys will be doing some diagnostic testing inventories. So you will be taking the learning and study strategies inventory. You will have a math assessment. You're also going to have a reading assessment and possibly the career assessment that we're working on, and one assessment that we created within the Spiritan Division called the Self-Identified Profile. We do have some workshops that we are developing for you. The morning part of the orientation is where you will be doing your testing from around 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then you would have lunch around 12 to 1. During the afternoon, we're looking at some workshops. They're 50-minute workshops, so you'll have one daily. And we're looking at different topics. We have a FAST program that we do for our incoming freshmen. So we're going to do a FAST program for you as one of the workshops. That kind of covers things that kind of parents and students need to know about your financial aid, your FAFSA form. There will be other offices there that kind of to assist you. During that workshop, we're also looking at the college experience. As you transition, what's expected of you, why do we go to college, and some other things in that particular workshop. We're looking at some counseling activities and cultural activities for you as well. So we'll look at mindfulness. We'll look at getting to discover who we are as we kind of step into adulthood. We will have some departments coming into the workshop. So we will have disability services come in for those students that may have a disability. Andrew, I think it's Andrew Graff is here, so he'll probably speak to that, but we hope to invite him to participate. I'm gonna talk to you guys about our disability services. We will have probably public safety come in, the psychology clinic, you know, some other resources. So, you know, a lot of times when students get to campus, they're having some difficulty with the transition. So our goal is to kind of help acclimate you to the university and make you as comfortable as possible while you are here on campus. And then we have some afternoon cultural activities that we'll be planning for you. And so, you know, we will introduce you to Pittsburgh and the cultural district that we have here. We do have a live and vibrant cultural district that we will introduce you to. So we'll do a walking tour of the city. We will do a scavenger hunt. So we'll get to know the campus. So I'll have you going all around campus, getting to know the buildings, and, you know, finding some things, taking some pictures. Mr. Ronaday didn't mention, but doing your research and information skills, you guys will do an e-portfolio. And so when you do the scavenger hunt, one of the goals is to go around to the different campuses, take pictures. You'll be put in groups. You take a group picture, and then you have that as a lifetime. So 10, 15 years from now, you'll look back at that snapshot and say, wow, this was my first day at campus, and you'll have that picture. And we have some other fun things planned for you during that week. So those are just some things that we have in place for you. And we hope it will be exciting. And we look forward to meeting you in August.
Very quickly. University Core English 101, Thinking and Writing Across the Curriculum, is a class all freshman students at the university are required to take. It's your standard college freshman English class. And here the focus is on what the English department calls writing arguments, being able to write persuasively. And this persuasive writing will be encapsulated within the context of essays. research-based essays, usually 3, 5, and 8-page essays. The U Core English 102, you'll take in the spring. The U Core 101, you take in the fall. And the 102, Imaginative Literature and Critical Writing, is a course where students are acquainted with the various tools that are used in literature to critique creative writing, imaginative literature. And here we're talking about the tools that students would use, and I suppose literary critics as well, to critique poetry, plays, short stories, and I do believe students will also be reading a novella, a short novel. Those are 2 university core classes, which once again means that every student at the university is required to complete 101 and 102. Division Core, Exploring Intercultural Communications, 3 credits. This is a class that's designed to acquaint students with the techniques and strategies and approaches that will allow them to work effectively across cultures. It's our understanding that the 21st century American workplace is a culturally diverse one. Hence, students need to have skills and approaches that will allow them to work harmoniously and effectively with people from all backgrounds, from all cultural backgrounds. Public speaking, another division core. As the name implies, students will acquire the skills that will allow them to craft an effective speech. These speeches will be delivered in class before their fellow students. And for the most part, there are 3 to 5 minute speeches that they will prepare. University Core, Basic Philosophical Questions is perhaps the most demanding course in our GSD curriculum. Students will be taking this possibly fall and spring, and it's an opportunity to acquaint oneself with the major thinkers in the Western philosophical tradition, beginning with Plato and Socrates, ending with Kant, Descartes, and possibly David Hume. So it's an overview of Western philosophical thought, from its beginnings with the Greeks and ending with the Northern European thinkers. Basic, biblical and philosophical, biblical and historical perspectives is a class where students have an opportunity to explore the Christian tradition, particularly the Catholic tradition, as exemplified in the Bible and other theological works. Division Core Field Observation 207 and Field Observation 208 are service learning classes. Most students, if not all, who graduate from the university are required to take and have some experience with service learning. In the case of the Spiritian division, the service would be delivered within the form of tutoring for elementary, middle, and high school students. In 207, students learn how to tutor, the philosophy and practices of being an effective tutor, and in that's fall term. And in the spring, they have an opportunity to actually work with the elementary, middle, and high school students, either here on campus, on Saturdays, or after school, or they will have an opportunity to tutor off campus and put into practice some of the skills that they have learned in the Field Observation 207. So that's the hands-on portion of the field observation experience. Once again, tutoring elementary, middle, and high school students. The major course selection, 6 credits, that's 3 in the fall and 3 in the spring. And this is an opportunity for students to actually take courses in their majors. So that constitutes our fall and spring curriculum. Now, once this curriculum is completed, students are then eligible at the end of spring term, that will be spring 2021, to transfer from the division to their school of major. And lastly, as Dr. Griggs indicated, our students, our Gussin Spiritian Division students, once they complete their 3 semesters in the Gussin Spiritian Division, I'm talking about the summer semester, the fall semester, and the spring semester, they are eligible, provided they have a QPA, quality point average, which is identical to a GPA, grade point average. Provided they have the QPA necessary, they can transfer to their school of major. And as Dr. Griggs mentioned, all 8 schools here at the university accept Gussin Spiritian Division students. So that completes my portion of the orientation. Thank you very much for your attention, and welcome to Duquesne University.